Okay, so I'm going to be listing my top 5 things that I want in Black Clover Mobile, and these things will range from things like having a good update schedule, and to the game having character balancing. But before I get to those, let's start off with the first one, which is having a wide variety of R, SR, and SSR characters. So for me, if Black Clover Mobile had a variety of R, SR, and SSR characters, I think that would be an absolutely fantastic addition to the game and would make it a very healthy game, as, for example, something that I loved about games like Genshin Impact is that they have this variety, and, it gives the players the enjoyment of being able to max out characters. But if the bond system from the closed beta remains the same, then this might not be needed, but I think it would still be really good, as if things like PvP or like Guild Wars are going to be added to the game, then they could add special rules that give benefits for using these lower ranked characters, like in 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross. So, I think just like everybody else, after playing the closed beta test, we had the arena game mode, but what we didn't have was PvP, and I think this would be such a fantastic addition to the game, as, I think any game that has a bit of, competitiveness, is always going to be a much better game, because, gives the players a lot more value, and, gives them a lot more of a reason to grind the game every day. And this would also allow the community to get creative and create things like tournaments, or like have like draft battles, or have just anything else that you could ever think of, really, which I think would also help continue to keep the players interested in the game and will motivate them to continue playing and keep seeking the fulfillment and satisfaction of winning PvP matches, especially as from what we got in the beta, the arena mode or AI PvP just felt slightly dry, a little bit slow. So something a little bit more fast-paced that could be a little bit more exciting would be really, really good, I think. Alright, so then this brings me on to something that I think could be very important for this game in order to keep it fresh and increase its lifespan, and this being character balancing. As, if PvP is added to the game, then I think this will, be equally as important as PvP itself, as we all know that sometimes, game devs can tend to, go a little bit too far with how good a character might be. So I think by adding, a character balancing system, then that would, I think somewhat, in my opinion, fix that issue. And I think this would also, give the game devs, the game studios, whatever, to, give them an opportunity to re-release characters that they've already released, which will allow new players to join the game and, be able to pull for characters they love but might have unfortunately missed out on, which would be really, really good. And, also allows them to make a little bit of extra change, so I think that could be pretty good. Alright, so I think, for me, when games collaborate with other games or TV shows, etc., I think it just brings so much hype. As, I don't know, let's say, for example, if your favourite anime is Naruto, and Black Clover Mobile were to collaborate with the Naruto IP, and they made it so you could play as Naruto within the game, would that not make you more excited for that upcoming patch and update and stuff? And, also for future updates, because, you might then start to think, ooh, I wonder what else, the game studios and Black Clover Mobile could collab with, which could, then get you excited for the future. So, then you might start hearing rumors and stuff. You get excited or disappointed, depending on whether they were, true or false or not. But I think this could be really, really good, because, it just gives something new, gives something fresh as well, which I think will be pretty damn good. And I think also, I think collaborating with other IPs, would also allow the game devs to get pretty creative with things like PvE events and bosses and stuff like that, because, it'll allow them to have some, like, unique enemies, like, I don't know, if it's, again, let's say a Naruto collab, you could then fight the Nine-Tailed Fox, or you could fight Madara, I don't know, something like that, I think would just be really, really cool, and I think it could be really, really fresh. Okay, so finally, I think this could honestly be the most important thing for me personally, as, as a content creator or whatever, and that is the game having a good and consistent update schedule, as, for me, this being the most important thing on the list, as I think what kills off a lot and will kill off a lot more gacha games is, releasing, like, content and characters too fast, too quickly. As, let's say Black Clover Mobile were to release a new character every week, you'd probably maybe begin to feel a little bit exhausted, you know, from the sheer volume of characters in the game, which, you know, could make it hard to keep up with the game, and could also push away any new and returning players, you know, that are looking at the game. They've seen it advertised somewhere, they look at it, then they look at this intimidating character list or whatever. There's just so many, and you don't know which ones are going to be good, which ones are going to be bad. So yeah, I think, you know, also if you know, new characters were to release every week, you know, I think then, you know, giving, you know, not only whales or just free-to-plays or whatever, you know, a new character to max out every week, again, which would be so completely draining, I feel like, and I feel like, you know, it make the game feel like quite a lot of, you know, a bit grindy almost. And, you know, I feel like if they were to have a slower release, then I think, you know, the devs could put way more time and effort into the new character releases and content releases as well. And, you know, I think most importantly, the player base will have more time to, you know, to save for new release characters and whatnot. And, you know, I think also it will allow the devs to release characters alongside the story as well. Although, you know, that's going to be really, really difficult to do, and I don't really see that happening because it's pretty damn difficult. So, but to keep it somewhat consistent at least would be really, really good. But I guess, you know, a potential downside of this would be, you know, some weeks, you know, you can have some dead weeks or whatever where you feel like you've run out of stuff to do and you don't really know what else to do, and you're just doing your dailies until the new update comes out. So I feel like, you know, sometimes it could feel a bit empty, which is why this, you know, could be a little bit of a, you know, a negative of this. But I think overall, you know, I think that could be fixed just, you know, with, you know, the devs giving us some actual, like, really good in-depth content that we can enjoy, not for just like a few hours, but for days. So I think that'd be pretty damn good. Okay, so that is it. I hope you enjoyed, and, you know, let me know your thoughts about my list in the comments below, and if you would like to, feel free to leave your own comments below, because I'll be reading all of them, you know, with your own lists. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And finally, I've been working on something pretty big, pretty special that I think hopefully you will all like, but I'm not ready to share with you exactly what it is just yet. But what I can share with you is this.